are down here on Sports Extraordinary. We'll take a short break now, and when we'll come back from this break, we'll bring you all that you need to know involving the world of sports. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing. You
point of order.
Honorable Stewart.
So no agreement with you, but
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what they blow.
I am very family.
Max war and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to everybody.
From the line across the to the land beyond the mountains, to the Sahara, we bring on the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions, their stories in politics, business, sociology, sports, and documentaries. So catch all your bets on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on
Welcome back, Stay Sports Extraordinary on Atlantic Television Network. Joining me this evening is Emmanuel Michael. Good evening to you, Michael, and welcome to the show.
Yeah, good evening to you, Kingsley, and good evening to our viewers out there.
Michael, let's talk about River Supers. We hear that they've gotten another kind of his name is John Wickens. Of course, talking about John Wickens, he's actually playing straight with one basketball league, a basketball club in Mali, that's Stade Malien, and as well, play for other clubs as well in Europe and down here in Africa. I don't know what you make of him. He's a new man in the camp of River Supers.
Well, for me, I think talking about John Wick, I think he's a John man because he has traveled far and wide in his quest for basketball adventure out there, and he's very much experienced. This is the kind of player that River Supers need to add into their squad this time, especially knowing that they will be taking part in the forthcoming Basketball African League, and this makes it a third player in a row that they've actually signed this season. I mean, signaling the fact that they want to go out and also, have a good game for themselves, and also, bring honor and laurels to the country out there. And for me, I think it's a great move, a good preparation in wait for the forthcoming Basketball African League. So I think Rivers Hooper, they are also trying to do everything possible to beef up their squad to ensure that also they pick up from where they stopped last time, where they actually emerged victorious as the champion of the Nigerian Basketball League. Going to the Basketball African League is a different ball game together. You're going to see some quality teams out there, full of good stars out there. So I think this is the reason they are trying to beef up their squad so that when they go out there, they are going to compete favorably well.
And talk about John Wickens. He was born in 1989 to former NBA player Jeff Wixon. The experienced center has played in Belgium, France, Morocco, and Germany as well. The French American played for Morocco's national team, Tunisia and Senegal. Wickens is the third import player signed by the Kingsmen for season 4 of the Basketball African League. So River Supers really intensifying preparation ahead of the Basketball African League. In the group of deaths, they have APR of Rwanda. They also have AS Tonel of Senegal, and as well the former champions US Monastir of Tunisia. You think because taking a look at the teams they have in their group, you think that's exactly the reason why they are putting up the team together ahead of the Basketball African League?
Well, for me, I think looking at the group that they find themselves in, they are very, very tough group, and I don't think that is the reason why they're actually beefing up their squad. Beefing up your squad in we're going for a major tournament as such, you expect that the team must beef up their squad, even if they were not going for major outing out there. But for the fact that side and they need to beef up their squad out there, but then this one is coming timely at the time where they are about to head for the Basketball African League. So I do not think that is the fear factor of those strong teams out there that have actually propelled them to add 1 or 2 players into their squad. I think it's a proper planning for me, and not about the team that they are going to face out there. Because if you ask me, if a team actually notices that there is need for an addition to the squad, I think they need to do that and spice up the squad, not minding the fact that they are going to face a tougher opponent out there. Of course, for me, every game should be taken very serious. Every team coming to the Basketball African League, they are coming out there to win the trophy, and they are not just coming to show themselves out there to answer present and go back. They are coming out there to also win the championship. So by so doing, I think this is the reason why Rivers Hoopers have also tried to beef up. They are going to compete effectively with those Of course, Nigeria, when you talk about basketball, we are also a force to be reckoned with in Africa, the likes of Senegal, Rwanda, name it, even Egypt. You can also mention Nigeria in the mix. So even the teams that you think that maybe they are so good, they are also afraid of the Nigerian team as well. So for me, I think it is necessary and it is needful, whether we are going for a national competition or not, there is need when you find some loopholes within your team for you to be able to add some players into the squad, quality players for that matter, experienced one for that matter, so as to ensure that you compete, favorably well with other teams.
I think the state government is really doing doing a great job. Getting these players. I tell you, it's not an easy feat for a team like Rivers Hoopers. Of course, they should go to the Basketball Africa League with such players, knowing the fact that when you talk about basketball in Rivers State, especially the Hoopers are number one.
Yeah.
And you being number one in your country league, it means you have to also show that progress. I think that's why they're also doing. Let's not forget, the governor similarly Fulbright awarded them with 50 million for winning the basketball league down here in Nigeria. Huge level of motivation as well. And from what we're seeing at this point in time, it means the team is actually taken care of. But we'll look forward to see how they will perform at the Basketball African League. Michael, this is going to be the 4th edition of the Basketball African League, and I tell you, it's been so difficult for Nigerian teams. The last time we saw a Nigerian team was last season, where we saw Kwara Falcons. They went there and couldn't win any match. The 3 matches they played, they lost all those matches. And we've seen River Supers. They've actually appeared 2 times. The 3rd time, we had issues, and they had issues, I think, issue of funding, and they couldn't get to participate in the Basketball African League. So their 3rd appearance in the Basketball African League. But why is it that the basketball team basketball teams down here in Nigeria, whenever they get to qualify for the Basketball African League, what do you make of it? They end up struggling.
For me, I think it boils down to the organizational structure, where the situation where they are preparing for major tournament it doesn't help, because the players would have been taking part in one pre-tournament or the other to keep these players fit while waiting for the major tournament but if there is no money, then there will be cap in hand begging for financial assistance out there, and when it doesn't come their way, you can't actually blame them, because they have to do with what they have, and that's the issues that whenever our national basketball team out here go out for any competition, they find it very, very difficult. They struggle out there to make a point for themselves. But whenever support, moral and support as well given to the team, you discover that they also do well. So it's simple. It's financial issues that have been bedeviling our national team, especially when it has to do with basketball aspect, from not conquering Africa and the world as well. But I think we are gradually changing the narrative, courtesy of what we are seeing with Kingsmen talking about Rivers Hoopers, and of course with this narrative that they are gradually trying to change, where the state governor actually rewarded them after a marvelous outing in a just concluded Nigerian Basketball League out there. I think that has boosted the morale and the confidence of the team and the players as well. Not forgetting Barrister Christopher Green, who is the Commissioner of Sport as well, doing his part as well to ensure that this team is properly motivated. He went as far as even giving some financial incentives to some of the fans out there during the just concluded basketball, make sure that fans turn out in their numbers to be able to cheer Rivers Hoopers to victory. So I think they've away finance from sport, because if you want to get the result right, you must also pump in money, because sport is a money-making venture. You pump in money there, and they also expect to recoup back money, because if you don't give financial support to some of these things, then you don't actually believe Rivers Hoopers and Rivers State, they have also learned their lesson, and that is why they are doing everything possible to change the narrative. Of course, Rivers Hoopers, they are making their third appearance in the Basketball African League.
This is going to be their third appearance?
Yes, this is going to be their third appearance. So for me, having gained the first experience, the second experience, if they gather all this experience together, I believe they are going to, do very well. Coupled with the fact that they are being rewarded with some financial incentive, this will go a whole long way to change the narrative of a Nigerian team whenever they go. It looks to be playing the second fiddle, which for me, I'm not comfortable, because when we call ourselves, we should be doing that, in the court out there, so that we also tell the world and Africa that indeed we are the giants of Africa, as the name sounds, and not just going out there when we are expected to up our game. We just go there and they crumble. So I believe the state government have also taken note of this, and that is why they are giving us to go out there and succeed.
Let's stay away from Rivers Supers as we take a look at, cricket. The cricket team for Nigeria at the All-African Games. Michael, he promises to get down today as head coach of Nigeria's male cricket team and the high-performance manager of the Nigerian Cricket Federation, Steve Tukulu. He says the country's male and female teams for the 13th African Games in Ghana are in strong groups and poised to spring surprises when the games begins today at the grounds. Cricket is debuting at the games in Ghana with 7 out of the 18 international cricket member countries, including Nigeria, host Ghana, Tanzania, Rwanda, Kenya, Uganda, and Namibia, as well as the 2 full international cricket council members, South Africa and Zimbabwe, doing battle in Accra. And the women's event, which starts today, the female Yellow Greens are in Group A, alongside Namibia and Tanzania. The team, they met twice at the just concluded tournament in Lagos, just as the Yellow Greens are in Group B with Namibia, Zimbabwe, and Tanzania, while both Nigerian teams are the latest ranked in their groups. Tikolo believe nothing can stop them from making their mark at the event. Michael, what do you make of it? The Nigerian cricket team at the All-African Games. The coach of the side, Tikolo, very optimistic that despite the fact that the teams in the All-African Games, that they have what it takes to challenge other teams.
Yeah, for me, despite being the lowest ranked team in the group out there, I still strongly believe that our cricket team can also go out there and also do themselves proud and do the country proud as well. Looking at their fine performance in the just concluded T20 Invitational Tourney here in the country, where they are second, I think for me, the team that we are going to they are familiar foes, because some of the team actually were part and parcel of the T20 Invitational Tourney here in the country before we actually came second in that very one. And of course, when you talk about the cricket team, this seems to be one of the stable sporting federation that we have here in the country over the years. We talk about cricket team, wrestling, and even shot put. These are some of the area of strength that we have. You may call it area of the coach talking tough. He clearly tells you that he's exuding with a whole has belief in the squad that definitely we are going to go out there and do the country plan. And of course, if the coach is exuding with such a confidence, this is quite a long time in a while that we've actually seen a coach going into a major tournament out there and speaking very tough out there, not complaining about positive or the major issue out there. So let's keep our fingers crossed and take the word of the coach out there that indeed they are poised for action and they are going to go out there and make a very strong statement for themselves.
I hope that, of course, the team will go down there and make a strong statement for themselves. But Michael, the All-African Games, of course, will kick off officially tomorrow. The table tennis event is on, and Team Nigeria have amassed 2 medals so far, 1 bronze and 1 silver, one from Aruna Quadri who couldn't get past Omar Sy in the single men's event, and he settled for a silver medal. A few of them actually settled for a bronze medal. So far, it's been 2 medals for Team Nigeria, 1 bronze and 1 silver. I don't know what you make of the performance of the team so far.
Well, not a bad one, but individually, you will also have expected us to at least go a step better, especially of young Edem, who also won the bronze last time out. She also won a bronze again this time around, but then I thought that maybe she should have gone a step further, maybe winning a gold medal or something. And then for Haruna Quadri, he actually met a familiar foe in the person of Umar Asa, who has become a thorn in his flesh out there. This same Umar Asa defeated Haruna Quadri in 2015 in the same fashion, where he actually lost to the Egyptian by 3-4, and that also repeated itself. And this is the only missing silverware or medals within the trophy cabinet of Haruna Quadri. So getting into the final of this one, locking horns against Umar Asa, who also defeated him in 2015, we expected Haruna Quadri to be on the top of his game as the first in Africa and also number 14th in the world. We expected him also to at least get the better of Umar Asa by making sure that he clinched the gold medal, but it wasn't to be, as he fell to the superior firepower of Umar Asa. I think for me it's quite disappointing, but then the only thing that we need to cheer home about is that we've been able to at least register some medals in our kitty so far.
We'll keep our fingers crossed and see how it goes, of course, for Team Nigeria. We hope, of course, we'll continue to see those medals, of course, coming, especially when the competition kicks off, tomorrow proper. But Michael, let's talk tennis. As Emma Raducanu says that she is not too concerned about the results. It's about tournament results, as the priority this year is to develop her game.
I think for me the right way to go for Emma Raducanu. Don't forget, I think injury have actually blighted her performance so far. After that surgery, she has found it very, very difficult to replicate the form that we used to see her of in the past. And again, no thanks for her consistent changing of coaches every now and then. She has actually changed 5 coaches in the last 4 or 5 years down the line, which for me, I do not think is a very healthy one, because as a player, you need to stick to one coach. You need to gain mastery over the tactics of a certain coach, other than to be changing coach every now and then. These are some of the things that have actually hampered, her developmental stride when you talk about tennis out there. But then, this is one of the names that we thought is going to be, the numero uno of tennis out there, where she put up a very impressive show when she actually won her first major title back there in 2-3 years ago. But then she has not been able to live up to that billing, as injury, like I said, have also, blighted her, progress. But then I think for me, she has come down to the reality, and the reality now remains that she just need to pipe low, work on her game behind the scene, and also try to bounce back, better, other than trying to aim for wins, or trying to aim for a major championship out there. The major purpose for her, as it stands right now, is for her to actually work on her games, work on herself, work on her tactics, and be able to perfect it, and also come back very strong, other than for her to hope for coming back quickly without proper preparation. I think it's a good idea, if you ask me, other than focusing on winning a major laurels, while you know quite well that your form cannot carry you. You are going to be a disgrace out there when paired against some of the big names in the world of WTA right now. And of course, you know that the WTA is a very, very competitive, segment, where we have a whole lot of stars, the likes of Marketa Hendrusova, the likes of Iga Swiatek, the likes of, not forgetting our own Onjobua, to mention but a few. There is a whole lot of competition or competitiveness within the WTA. So at this point in time, for her, trying to focus more on developing and improving on her game, I think is something that is very, very necessary at this point in time. She should just build on her game, build on her confidence level, so that when she bounces back, then we're going to see the best of Emma Raducanu.
All right, we'll keep our fingers crossed and of Emma Raducanu. But Monkey, let's talk about boxing. It promises to go down tomorrow in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Anthony Joshua against Francis Ngannou. A lot of expectation, from Joshua as well in this one. A lot as well, from. But I don't know what you make of the bout. Do you see Joshua, continuing his winning streak this year?
Possibly, yes, but then it's going to be a very tough task for him out there. Come tomorrow, he's definitely going to meet a very strong opponent. Though I may say that Francis Ngannou is one boxer that have not truly proven his worth to the world, because he has just fought only once professionally when he squared up against the Gypsy King, talking about Tyson Fury. But then, if you go back and look into that game against Tyson Fury, you quite agree with me that he showed a whole lot of promises out there. Don't forget, to kiss his canvas. It took the intervention of the judges out there to be able to, allow Tyson Fury to bounce back into that one. And it was a very, very controversial decision at the end of it, which many people out there quite agree. The Gypsy King, talking about Tyson Fury, that victory was very, very controversial. So he's going to be meeting against a very strong Anthony Ngannou, who is a typical African man. He has a natural power out there, and the punching power, of this man is very, very devastating. So Anthony Joshua just need to trade with caution, coming up against Francis Ngannou, who will be hoping, to dismantle Anthony Joshua. Of course, you heard him spoke yesterday during the press conference. He was making a whole lot of, challenges out there, daring Anthony Joshua. But then I think we are going to see more of the talking on the ring come tomorrow than more of the talking. But then if you have in this one against Francis Ngannou, because if Anthony Joshua loses this fight, it's definitely going to be a major setback towards him trying to revive back his career after losing his belt to Alexander Usyk.
Some boxing fans are not really happy with the nature of Anthony Joshua ahead of this bout with Francis Ngannou. Does that actually depict the fact that, so many are saying that his friendly nature is depicting or the fact that the man is not aggressive, is not the man has lost his nature of aggressiveness, and he's not supposed to be friendly going to a bout like this. He's supposed to be, of course, be talking tough ahead of this one. What do you make of the friendly states now of Anthony Joshua? He doesn't really talk much when he wants to embark on the bouts.
Of course, for me, people are wired differently, sportsmen and women. Some of them are very, very. Anthony Joshua is a very subtle and very gentle, easygoing gentleman out there. So I think for me, he does much of the talking on the boxing ring rather than off the boxing ring as well. Even if you take a look at his social media handle as well, it's more of trying to encourage the youth out there, more of trying to do goodwill other than talking tough and being very, very loquacious or aggressive in the media against his opponent out there. So some persons do have actually insinuated that Anthony Joshua is possibly afraid of Francis Ngannou, because like Ngannou said, that he doubts that if Anthony Joshua can also take the same punch that Tyson Fury took against him, that if Anthony Joshua took such punch, he definitely not going to get up to start to continue that fight. So, courtesy of that, big mouthed statement from Francis Ngannou, so many persons that and the very gentle nature of Anthony Joshua to, I do not look at it from that angle. Anthony Joshua traditionally is a very gentleman. He does more of the talking on the ring rather than off the ring, and for me that is very, very necessary. We've seen so many fighters in the past where they come to the media, do some media ranting, threaten brimstone and fire, but at the end of it all they still go down and kiss the canvas. So for me, I am not bothered about Anthony Joshua being very, very soft when he has to do in the media address and all of that. Of course, boxing fans all over the world who truly understand the tradition of how boxing works, I mean, you get to keep the fans on their toes with such big statements out there in the media, those media towns out there. I mean, these are some of the things that spices up a boxing fight out there. But then, I think for me, Anthony Joshua is not that kind of showman who will always come to the media and hype himself, make a whole lot of issues out of nothing. This humility or the fear of Anthony Joshua in the ring, or he was just actually keeping the best part of the talking down to on the ring come tomorrow.
All right, still talking about Anthony Joshua and Francis Ngannou set to become significantly significantly richer once their fight in Saudi Arabia is done and dusted later this week. The two are all set for their contest this Friday, which is tomorrow, and there are tens of millions set to pour into their pockets. However, what is guaranteed is that Ngannou and AJ will make millions from the fight. The Cameroonian will take home $20 million, which works out to around 16 million pounds. This would be the most lucrative fight in his career. And would be double what he earned against Fury. This field doesn't include any pay-per-view money or fees for winning or lasting the full distance. Why? It is also set AJ. This is also said to be one of Joshua's most lucrative fights. AJ will earn nearly 40 million pounds again, and this doesn't include pay-per-view fees or any potential prize money. So huge money, of course, for Anthony Joshua and the likes of Francis Ngannou. The match, of course, the bout will take place tomorrow, and we'll see who will get through in that one. But at this point, we'll take a short break. When we'll come back from this break, I'll bring you other matters involving around the world of sports. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussion, business, socio-economy, sports, and so catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
people into the country illegally. That is amazing. You human trafficker.
Honorable
You are a human.
They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
Every day, our lives are changed by history,
We are one people, all of us.
leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought a very family.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
Welcome back. It's the Sports Personality Show on Atlantic Television Network, and of course it's time for we to talk football on the show this evening. Michael, Niger Tornadoes, of course, they've been fined 3 million naira for breaching, MPFL rules. What do you make of it, fine this time around in the Nigerian Premier Football League?
I think it's quite necessary so as to stop other teams that will be hoping or thinking or conceiving of making sure that they go against the guiding principles that governs the NPFL league. I think for me, this will serve as a deterrent to other teams out there who will be hoping to toe this line. There are certain standards which the NPFL have set, which all the teams must stick to that standard if we want to truly improve the league out there. Encouraging into the pitch of play, lack of provision of adequate security, thereby allowing persons who were not authorized to get near to a stadium, just that way they allow them, get into. These are things that goes against the rule of the game, and of course, if they are not punished, then they will be setting a bad precedence for other teams out there to follow. And of course, I think most of these fans and even the officials, club members as well, should also take precaution, because what we are talking about right now is not even the fans. It boils down to the officials of the team as well. So we must also continue to address these issues so that we can be able to nick all these things in the bud if we truly want our league to continue improving. 10 million naira fine has been imposed against Niger Tornadoes, and they have less than 48 hours to appeal that case. But for me, I think this should not be allowed to continue, because if it does, then it's going to bring to disrepute the quality of the game. And of course, you know that the game is streaming live right now, where it cut across 200 countries. And if we are seeing this kind of shame and sham on the screen of the television, watch you know how bad image it will create for the league out here in Nigeria. So for me, I think some of these drastic measure, you know, need to be taken. We should continue to wield the big hammers against the defaulters, so that at least other persons will also learn a lesson from it.
Niger Tornadoes failed to provide adequate and effective security, resulting in unauthorized persons gaining access to the pitch of play, and as well to restricted areas. There was also encouragement into the pitch by Tornadoes officials and unauthorized persons during the game against Rangers on Sunday. Niger Tornadoes are further charged for conducting themselves in a manner capable of bringing the game to disrepute. A fine of 1 million is imposed on Tornadoes for failing to provide adequate security. Tornadoes will pay another 1 million fine for encroachments into the pitch during the match against Rangers. A further 1 million fine is slammed on the Bina club for general misconduct. Niger Tornadoes have 48 hours from the date of this notice to appeal or accept these sanctions. All right, let's stay away from that as we'll take a look at other matters as well in football. And we're here straight now to the Champions League, because we saw some interesting matches yesterday. Michael, Manchester City, they look unstoppable this time around, putting up 100% record down to the quarterfinal of the Champions League, you know, this season. Just like we actually said some days ago, I don't know what you make of City and their performance this time. A lot of persons are actually thinking in the direction that they might possibly make it back-to-back, you know, Champions League, you know, victory this time.
It's very much possible, looking at their display so far, right from the group stage, where they actually came out 100%, winning all of their game out there. You know, and they have also continued in that feat as well. They have not lost a single game so far this season in the Champions League. And I think for me, despite making 7 substitutions from the team that actually, you know, squared up against Manchester United in their debut over the weekend, the coach, talking about Pep Guardiola, has to make 7 substitutions from that team that defeated Manchester United 3-1 over the weekend in the EPL you know, game. But then they still were able to come out top. Very, very strong, a convincing result, 3-1. I think for me, Manchester City looks very much unstoppable, especially now that Phil Foden has found his form, the likes of Erling Braut Haaland, you know, the midfield maestro himself, Kevin De Bruyne, you know, Rodri. These are players that can be able to, you know, single-handedly win you a game as a coach. And all of these players are very, very fit. So I think Manchester City, they are in the verge of becoming the second club in the history of the Champions League to win it back-to-back after Real Madrid did so, you know, some time ago. I think for me, they are in a poor position to do this. But then it is an early call to make right now, because we still have some of the traditional teams out there, such as Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, not forgetting clubs like PSG as well. So, but if you look at their pattern of play, if you look at the hungers from the side of the players, if you look at the tactical finesse of Pep Guardiola, you will definitely agree with me that they will be going for the Champions League trophy this season to make sure that they win it back-to-back. Though it's a very Herculean task, but then not inachievable. They can also do this. If clubs like Real Madrid have done it in the past, then record as well is meant to be broken.
record of course, is meant to be broken. And just like you mentioned there, Real Madrid, of course, struggled to get past RB Leipzig yesterday.
Yeah, not a good one for Real Madrid. You know, they actually struggled for the majority of the game out there. Where RB Leipzig came to the party, they asked most of the question against a certain Real Madrid. In fact, they have to come back into the game by leveling it, making it 1-1 in the 80-something minutes, and from then they continue to pile the pressure against Real Madrid, trying to run riot in their defense line. But then, I think Real Madrid will truly have Anthony Rudiger to thank for those, two saves in the dying minute of the game. If not, it should have been a different story, that we'll be talking about right now. But then Madrid, as a experienced side, they were able to hold on to the last whistle of the game, thereby progressing through 2-1 in aggregate. But then it wasn't a convincing performance for Real Madrid point of view yesterday.
All right, let's quickly bring you some of the fixtures we'll be expecting tonight in the Europa League, as Karabakh will be in action against Bayer Leverkusen, Roma against Brighton, Sparta Prague against Liverpool tonight, and AC Milan will be in action against Slava Prague, and OC Benfica against Rangers, Freiburg against West Ham United, Marseille against Villarreal. In the Conference League, we also see some matches as well, as Ajax will be in action against Aston Villa, Molde against Club Brugge, Olympiacos against Maccabi Tel Aviv, Sturm Graz against Lille, Dynamo Zagreb against PAOK FC, Maccabi Haifa against Fiorentina, Ceuta against Victoria Plzen, Union St. Cluj against Fenerbahce. Those are the matches we'll be expecting tonight in the Europa League as well as the Conference League. But at this point, of course, we have to call it a wrap. Michael, at the impressive time this evening, taking a look at these issues.
Yes, of course. We'll make a return again tomorrow morning by 7 p.m. for Sport Talk. Always a pleasure doing this with you, Kingsley.
All right, tomorrow 7 a.m. Sports Talk make a return. But before then, we have other programs for you on Atlantic Television. As of course, as you enjoy the rest of our programs. Don't forget, Christianity, all the pathways of progress. You can go down to our different social media handle. Of course, the conversation continues right there. My name is Kingsley Emmanuel. Thanks for watching.
From the line across the ocean